this game ends up going the distance here, simply because... Welcome to Varney Research Station, ladies and gents, and the venue of the final map of the first part here of DingIt's showmatch series, the King of the Hill. Of course, this is the hot seat. It's a best of 9, but there are only 7 maps in the pool, which means Varney Research Station is the last map before we do a fresh round of vetoes. Spawning in the 12 o'clock position as the yellow Zerg player representing team mYinsanity, we've got none other than Petraeus. And his opponent evening up the series of 3-all after that last fantastic control game on Inferno Pools. Representing Team Acer, ladies and gents, we have Bly. Very tense, very energetic series between these two very talented Zerg players so far. But one of these guys is going to have to win, and we know already we're at least going to a Game 8. So really, really cool series to start off the hot seat on DingIt TV. And hopefully we'll get to see this series go all the way to a game number 9, because the games have just been fantastic and really exciting. The games where the players have gone for different strategies have been very dynamic and entertaining. The games where the players have gone for the same strategies, the Zergling-Baneling game, the Roach game, they've actually been really tense and sort of edge of your seat kind of stuff. So I almost don't care what happens in this game, because it looks like they make it entertaining no matter what they do. So let's see how this ends up unfolding. It's a 2-player map, of course, so the players know where each other spawns. Got the spawning pools going down first by both parties here, so being nice and safe before going for that in-base natural. And note, there is no other entrance to this base, by the way. So they will be able to comfortably defend simply by holding this ramp. And this is actually a very, very narrow ramp. Like, of maps to hold 2 bases on, guys, this is actually pretty easy. And the 3rd base is actually quite close as well. So it's a bit of a weird dynamic on Varney. You get a situation where, actually, the first 3 bases seem relatively easy to hold, but you're constantly then expanding towards your opponent, and it's a 2-player map. So on the other hand, it tries to encourage early game aggression. It makes for some really fun, really dynamic games. We'll see how it pans out, though. Both players now have a gas each, with Petraeus deciding to start mining ever so slightly earlier, but it really makes next to no difference at this point. And the Overlords are getting in position now. You can see Bly's just being able to check out both sides and actually managing to spot this gas first as well, which is quite nice. He'll be able to see exactly how much is being mined there, and more or less confirmed that the build he is facing mirrors his own. In the meantime, Petraeus' Overlords have actually moved back a little bit, so he's not going into the middle here at all. He's actually waiting in no man's land just to peek, and we'll see if the Zerglings can actually do that. We're going to be blocking with the drone here, and that is how to block. Earlier on, of course, we had Zerglings move past the drone, and unfortunately the drone was not fed enough in its infancy, and therefore was not fat enough to block the Zergling. The Queen now, though, retreating back, and this does allow the Zergling in. Oh, I feel like he's done a lot of work to prevent this, and now he's just going to get a free scout. A little bit unfortunate. Hey, there's a Zergling there. There we go. And we'll be able to see everything in the main. Has he confirmed a creep in the natural? No, but it would be silly for there not to be a natural expansion at this point, so no big deal. And we have a Baneling nest. All right, that's going to be going down first for Petraeus here. Is he going to be really, really aggressive here in game number 7, trying to break the deadlock and seeing if he can squeeze ahead and get onto match point first? We've got a corresponding Baneling nest, though, coming down from Bly, so this could be a mirror game. Now, last time we saw this, we did actually end up with one player, Bly, going to Mutalisks and Petraeus not. So there's still plenty of chance for divergence in this game. Let's wait and see. This certainly is going to be able to pop in, and we'll see that no gases, super early gas have been taken here. Nothing unusual. And the first couple of Zerglings have moved by this Overlord for Bly. Not a number that he considers alarming just yet, but that is a number he'd consider alarming. Alright, moving out into the middle of the map as speed completes. Here come the Zerglings from Bly. It looks like he wants to be aggressive against Petraeus and does not mind showing his opponent exactly what he's going to be doing. Let's see if he can get up the ramp into the main base. There are 2 Banelings up here, and ooh, excellent initial hit. Using the high ground ramp vision against Bly there, and the initial attack, unfortunately, is not going to work out at all. Very, very well played there by Petraeus, keeping that on top of the ramp. That wasn't a super mistake. It was just using the high ground to his advantage, and he's going to immediately take the 3rd base off the back of this. So that's the plan. Bly, on the other hand, is about to finish his lair. So is he going for as early as possible Mutalisks once again? We have a similar situation down here where a bunch of Banelings are now waiting for these Zerglings to pop up. Okay. Only kills 2 with the first bunch, but there are plenty more where those came from. And, oh, potentially a good hit there. And needs to be a little bit careful, but able to fend off this attack for now. 2 more Zerglings go down to a Baneling, and that's a lot of Banelings coming in. Petraeus might just rush through to see if he can kill a single mineral line. Here come 4 Banelings. 2 of them get dispatched by the Queen. A 3rd one looking like it's going to be done as well, but the 4th one gets through to the mineral line. There are more Zerglings on the left-hand side. An excellent hit. Can the Zerglings finish the job? A couple of drones go down. Let's keep an eye on the counter here. It's 7 workers now. 10 workers killed to 1, and more Banelings and more Zerglings are moving through to this base. This could be a massacre at this point. Is this the point where he loses the game? Great defensive Banelings to keep this alive, and it looks like the game is going to stabilize here. Or is it Petraeus is streaming more and more units down here, and we've got Zerglings now streaming in. Number of workers killed 12 to 1 right now. 35 to 29 workers in favor of Petraeus as he continues to move in and kill off as many units as possible. Look at how many drones here are on red health. A Baneling goes off, but he's not quite able to finish the job, and the Queens are just about able to repel this attack. So Petraeus is getting fought back right now. Bly stabilizes, but he is down 6 workers, and more importantly, he's down a hatchery, and it's really that sort of momentum that's going to keep this going for Petraeus here. Good block. There are 4 Queens here, so that's going to be very difficult to stop. But Petraeus, he's actually just going for it. The Spire's gone down now for Bly. He's thinking, right, I've stabilized. I'm going to have some time here to get out some Mutalisks. But will he actually have enough time to do this? There are Banelings here. If the Queens move, the Banelings can come down. He needs to be very careful indeed. 4 Banelings on top, 2 Banelings below. A lot of Zerglings everywhere, and this game is not finished yet. Petraeus wants to keep up the aggression. It's going to be very difficult for him to keep doing that, though. With this number of Queens out on the ramp, Bly is holding like an absolute champ so far. Are there any more transfuses available? There aren't at the moment. Getting close to having one of it. Okay, there we go. We've got 1 transfuse available now. Is that a 2nd transfuse? And that's a lot of Banelings busting through these Queens. He's actually just going for it. He doesn't care at all. And Baneling's trying to chase down here, but he will be able to get a couple into the natural expansion. Will this actually kill off any workers? Yes, it will. More Zerglings now streaming out across the map. This 3rd base is not mining. It is only being used for offensive purposes. A couple more drones go down. 15 to 1 right now. But the worker counts are 46 to 43. Petraeus is only very marginally ahead. Bly is doing a great job of holding on here, and he's got 700 minerals and 700 gas. The Spire's about to complete. Are we going to see Mutalisks save the game here for Bly? This is incredibly tense. He might be able to do it. Another way to try and hack the wall down. Needs to be so careful, does Petraeus. If these Queens fall, there are Banelings behind them. And one of them is on red health right now. He's moving forward again with a bunch of Lings, trying to kill off these 2 Queens. They're so close to dying, but he replaces them with a full health one. Or does he actually? A Baneling coming in now to try and finish the job. Oh, and there we go. 2 Queens carcasses. That is a big one right there. Gets exploded, and Bly... Well, Bly's now got Mutalisks out on the field. And this could be a problem. What is Petraeus going to do? He's got 3rd base. It's now mining. He's got the extra larvae. He's up to 60 drones versus 42. So in that last attack, he was doing nothing but droning up. Is this going to be enough for him to win the game, though? These Mutalisks can do so much damage. He's taking a 3rd base of his own now. Is Bly. What a fantastic defense, guys. A round of applause there for Bly for soaking up the pressure for so long. He's got +1 attack coming in now as well. And he cancels the infestation, but he's going Roach 1, Evolution Chamber 2. And a lot of Overlords getting killed off now in the middle of the map. Petraeus not quite supply blocked, but 1 Overlord away from being supply blocked. I like how these Mutas are patiently waiting to see what lies ahead with the Overseer before opting to move over to this side of the map by the looks of things. Is he coming into the main base? No, he's going to regroup, pick off a couple of creep tumors, and press in. Now, there are a lot of Queens here, more than enough to deal with these Mutalisks, but they're nowhere near as mobile. And that's sort of the strength of this Mutalist army right now. Poor Overseer gets left behind, and it looks like he's going to die, unfortunately. getting the blood and guts splattered all over the place, but it looks like these mutas are actually going to be of limited value at the moment. Bly opting to save them in the face of this many queens. He's currently up 102 to 100 supply. The game is evening out a little bit. Bly actually has more workers than Petraeus right now, even though he's in the process of transferring them. So Petraeus has been mining from the third base for longer, but Bly is now basically back on even footing. What an exciting game this is turning out to be, and such an important one, because whoever wins this goes on to match point. We have a Hydralisk Den coming down for Petraeus. Now that is going to be his answer to the Mutalisk. It's not the first time we've seen a Hydra Den this series, and once again a difference of opinion between the two players. Now, when we have vastly different army compositions, we often see Bly enter his element, know exactly when to counterattack and where, but Petraeus broke that chokehold when he went 3-2 up with that Nidus play. Are we going to see another instance of that happening here? What a great scout from Petraeus as well, spotting that this fourth base at the gold is cheekily getting taken right now, sees the exact timing on that, and he's going to be planning his next attack now. The Hydralisk Den, where is it? It has finished now, but we're a little bit gas-starved as Petraeus, and I think that's because he's saying, actually, I just need some units to go out now and try and take this out. 12 roaches incoming. 12 roaches incoming from Bly, rather, getting a little bit confused there, and we have the infestors coming out from Petraeus. So this is very, very interesting indeed. If we take a look, this is what I was talking about, no Hydras on the field, even though I was clicking the wrong player's units, but he's actually going for pathogen glands and infestors instead, and he wants to get those units out. 7 roaches. He's not using those Hydralisks yet, only now starting the Groove Spine upgrade. So I wonder if he's going to attack the gold base. He's going to attack it very, very soon indeed. He's taking a fourth of his own. It's not the gold location. The Mutalisks are coming back in for round 2 of harassment. The queens are able to shepherd them away. And we're reaching the stage of the game where the mutas have to not clump up because there are infestors on the field, and when there are infestors on the field, Funglu is going to be a possibility. Bly retreating right now. He's on 166 supply versus 171 from Petraeus. And the extra income from this gold base could actually serve Bly very, very well. If it stays up for much longer, he will simply have an income advantage over his opponent. We've got Roach Muta versus Roach Hydra Infestor by the looks of things. These are the army compositions we can see out here. In a straight-up fight with fantastic fungals, I prefer the Roach Hydra Infestor, but it is so concave specific and so dependent on where you take the fight that anything could happen. I love how Bly is being very active with these Mutalisks as well. Ooh, the army's actually engaging in the middle of the map. Oh, and I'll tell you what, that is not actually a fight that's happening by choice. Some great fungal growths actually killing off a lot of Bly's roaches there, and these mutas now have to do a reasonable amount of damage if he wants to make that worth it. A lot of that army has gone down. Okay, he's got burrow movement. He's going to try and move in and do a little bit of ninja tactics by the looks of things, but the mutas haven't actually killed that much. 15-1 workers killed this game so far. Not a tremendous success rate. Good job with these roaches, trying to be as efficient as he can, but Petraeus' army is already moving out across the map. Now, these Hydras and these Infestors could be the answer here. The mutas and the roaches, they're trying to flank from all sides is Bly, and this fight could end up deciding the game very quickly indeed. These roaches now, okay, actually, Petraeus is going to be able to clean that up, so this is where the game, I think, is going to be decided. A lot of spine crawlers here. 4 in total, pardon me, missing the first fungal growth. And we need to be so careful with positioning. He's actually getting squashed into a corner a little bit. Second fungal isn't actually doing too much. We have some infested Terrans coming in for extra DPS now as well. And the infestors don't actually have that much energy. Is Petraeus actually going to be able to win this? Good concave from him and an excellent amount of DPS. The mutas, they're going infestor hunting. They're going to be able to kill off all the infestors. Are we going to see them? Oh, this is... Ouch, 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 ouch. All of the infestors died, but in the meantime, the ground army is actually winning for Petraeus here. Was splitting off the Mutalisk the right thing to do? Bly's coming back with the mutas now, but the ground army has been killed, and the number of workers killed has gone up to 21. So Petraeus definitely got some purchase for that as well, and he's up to 187 supply versus 163. I'm not sure splitting up those mutas was what Bly needed to do right there. Yes, he's going to be able to kill off these roaches eventually, but now we have queens joining in. We might get more Hydras on the way as well, And Bly lost half a base, effectively. He lost some workers. He lost some mining time. The hatchery was down to 2/3 health. I'm not 100% certain that was the right play. It wasn't catastrophic either. But Petraeus, it now has a couple of units inside this gold-based mineral line as well. That's going to be so important because this is where Bly tries to make up the advantage. As you can see, the income is actually more or less even at the moment because of the fact that this base is golden. But now that mining has been driven away from that, Petraeus can think about round 2. The game is not over, but it's starting to tilt in Petraeus' favor, I have to say, because he's enjoying this supply of it. Whoa, did I say that way too soon? Bly explodes up to 194 supply. He needs to hold this. Oh, that's so fun. Oh my god, that fungal growth. He needs a second infestor, and he needs a second fungal right the heck now. And those were some excellent fungals, but he didn't quite finish it off. Oh, these roaches are asking for trouble. There is still a fungal growth available here. And Petraeus is moving, inching ever closer to this gold base. I think it's going to go down. But these roaches, are they going to catch the queens out in the middle of the map? Well, this hatchery goes down, and Petraeus actually is deciding to move back now to try and engage here. And he oh dear, he unburrows these roaches, but a great fungal growth means that actually he's not able to get too much done. Now the mutas join in. Bly's army is really fragmented right now. He's got a lot of money. He just needs to be able to spend it. He's got 15 larvae, but right now the army just isn't together and working cohesively enough for Bly to take any sort of engagement level advantage, and that's why Petraeus is winning these fights out in the middle of the map. And with the queens here as well, I don't think the mutas are really commanding the place either. Losing another one there and stopping the 4th base from going down. Once again, there's a fungal growth on a lot of mutalisks, and there are a lot of hydras here as well. And now Bly is restricted to 3 bases. This is looking increasingly difficult for him. Petraeus is smelling a snowball, and he wants to try and move all the way through. These queens, as arthritic as they seem, could end up being the key to plowing through to victory. 4 spine crawlers once again coming up here. More infested Terrans. Using the last energy on those infestors for that extra DPS, for that extra damage soaking ability. The mutas are once again behind, trying to pick off reinforcements, but the ground army is winning over here in front. The last spine crawler is about to fall, and even if the mutas join in now, I think the hydras can just turn around and take them. The 3rd base goes down. So many of these drones are going to go down as well while transferring. An emergency switch to Broodlords coming in from Bly. Is it going to be enough? The Hydralisk trying to get some purchase in on one of them. One of them goes down. There are 3 left though, but there's a lot of ground army left here, and there are still queens left in this army composition as well. Will the Broodlords end up winning the day? Well, Bly's down to 2 bases, so I don't even know if he can replenish. Here come the Mutalist. Yes, he'll be able to clean up the Hydralisks here. 130 to 169 supply right now. And, yeah, the air army is going to win, but it's 2 original bases. I don't think this is enough to win him the game, because if we take a look at the income, I mean, Petraeus has all the time in the world to formulate a response. GG, it's not going to be enough. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Bly GG's out. Petraeus sets up match point here by winning game number 7. He goes 4-3 up in the inaugural hot seat best of 9 King of the Hill.